Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me just see what's okay. Antoine's in the chat. Welcome to the stream. How was your trip? Was it amazing? Your stories looked really fun. I'm so tired. I believe that. That's a lot to take in. Okay. Just want to make sure everything's running here. Can't wait for it to be 7:30 a.m. to check your blood about your MS the next week. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, I hope the results are good. I hope that is a good thing for you, or good results for you. Okay, gotta hydrate. Okay. So, I'm just going to make sure. Okay, we are streaming on all the places. Excellent, excellent. Okay, we are going to do something a little different today. Hang on. The trip was so beautiful. I wanted to go to the beach. Unfortunately, I was so tired. I felt the treatment is ending soon, you know. Oh, okay. Okay, it's going to keep us posted. Excellent. I'm glad that the trip was so beautiful. It looked like there were like festivals and things that you were at that it seemed like pretty cool. So I hope it was a lot of fun for you. That's amazing. All right. So, latest development in the tarot cards. I started inking the last card. It was a lot when I realized that that's what I was doing. So I thought for sure I was going to do the tarot card on the live stream today, but I think I'm going to keep that one for myself. I think I'm just going to enjoy that last card for me, which is also realizing a sad thing this instant is that I'm done drawing tarot cards on the live stream for now. I'm sure there'll be tweaks and there's going to be still lots of tarot content. We're doing tarot content today. Please leave them alone, buddy. It's okay. But I'm just doing a different kind of thing today. I didn't know there was a festival the previous weekend, and this weekend we'll have another festival close to the beach. Oh, see, that's awesome. I love a surprise festival. When my sister and I hiked the Inca Trail up to Machu Picchu, when we got down to Ollantaytambo at the bottom, that night there was a surprise festival there, and it was awesome. The islanders are so unique and everyone's so polite. Yay! I love a good people experience when we are working together. That's so nice. Because sometimes people can make or break it. So I'm glad they were really good. Okay, so we are going to do some more tarot content today. Like I said, the last little drawing is just going to be for me. I will be posting it. Everything is going to go up. But the card that I'm drawing right now is the one I have had slotted as the last card for quite some time. So I don't want to leave it as a spoiler. It's going to be the last one that goes up the weekend before November 1st, which is when we're launching. Would you like down? You're fine. So what we're going to do today, because we have all the other cards ready to go, I'm going to start laying things out and getting ready for print. Because in a couple weeks, we're going to be doing... do you want down, buddy? Sorry, he's having a hizzy fit. We're going to be doing a pre-order, and I want to make sure that everything's ready to hit print. So I thought I'd go through some of that process today and see how fun it is. So what you're seeing on the screen here, we're in Illustrator. So what I'm doing is I have this template. You okay? This template right from the printer. So pretty frequently, if you're printing from someone like a printer company like Vistaprint, in this case Printer Studio, even if just like a local printer, very frequently they will have a template for you to work with. This helps you get things squared away in a way that they can print the first time and not have to worry about things being rotated or shifted or anything else. So the templates all look very different, but this is kind of a good guideline and a good representation of what you're used to seeing. So usually they'll give you some dimensions 300 DPI is the resolution to which you want to export your stuff. Generally, I'll do at minimum 150, but 300 ensures that your design isn't going to come out very blurry. It's going to be nice and clean and crisp when they print it out. And then they always have these different notes on here. So the safe area line, this is where you want all of your content that is very important. So in this case, we need the art itself and also the numbers and the name of the card, and anything that I want in here should fall in the dimensions of this red dashed line. So that's the safe area. So that's generally where, like, if they put their paper down on the printer and if it shifts a tiny little bit, your art will still be where it needs to be. This is kind of, it's an abundance of caution, but depending on what you're doing, like if you're doing book pages, because the paper is so thick, it could shift a little bit. This is giving you room for, or depending on how their slicers work, there's all different kinds of reasons. A lot of printers are very reliable and they're very consistent. I'm not saying that the tarot cards are going to be all over the place. Some are going to go to the edge and some aren't. But this is to ensure that my art is in the safe space. RB is in the chat. Welcome to the stream. We're doing different kinds of tarot today. So that you want to make sure any really critical art, names, text, etc. are going to be within those dash lines. I wouldn't push those dash lines if you can help it. The cut area line, that's where you're going to have your the cut. So in this case, the edge of the tarot card, as is going to be where the edge is. So that's where you don't want anything outside of that, because it's definitely going to get cut off. So that's where it's going to cut. So this blue line is the shape of our tarot card right now. And then your bleed line. This is something that people tend to miss, and sometimes I forget about as well. The bleed line, Arby says, I'm on the coast, just stopping to say hi. Hi, thanks for stopping in. Well, you're on vacation. I appreciate that. So the bleed line. So what you want to do here, and I'll show you when we get onto the actual file where we're working, is you want your, in this case, the border of our tarot cards is just a simple black. But if you have a pattern, or if you have a design that you want to go off the edge or anything, and you do not want a white outline or edge of any kind, you want to fill this whole green space with that pattern or that color or that photo or anything else, because this blue line is where they're going to cut. And if your design goes right to the edge of the blue, and like I said, the printer and the printer or the paper shifts a little bit, you're going to have a white space. There's going to be a white edge, or it's going to really show how the like the off-putting part of the slice. Dan's lurking on Facebook. Welcome to the stream. So you definitely want to make sure that you do a full bleed out onto the edges, so that when that shift happens or anything, if they're cutting, like a tarot deck is pretty thick, it looks like this, pretty thick, that if there's a little shift, I'm being dramatic here with this, but if there's a little shift, it's going to cut straight down, and you don't want any white edges or anything like that. Mafu's in the chat as well. Welcome to the stream. RB's by the sea. I love it. And Dan says, ooh, templates. Yes, we're prepping some cards to get ready for printing, because I'm currently creating the last of the tarot cards. I'm drawing the last card. So I want to keep it for me. I'm feeling very possessive of this card. Oh, thank you, Dan, for posting on Discord. I forgot to post on Discord. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mafu. I hope you're doing well as well. So you want to make sure that you do this full bleed, and I'll explain that when we get over to the other side, so it gives you kind of an idea of what I'm talking about. And then always take a look at any notes that your printer has for file types you want to send out. So these are different file types that you want to export to, and you want to make sure that none of this template is in the final file. So if you print with this on top of it, this will print on top of your tarot card. Something that people forget quite a bit. I've forgotten it sometimes too. So when you're working with these, I would recommend putting them on a layer or something that you can hide away or delete at the very end. And then you don't have to worry about these accidentally printing in here as well. And take any file exports from your printer to heart as well, please, because it's something like what we're doing with the tarot cards. You want to make sure that you're doing like an image file or something in this case, because in our case we have text on the cards. So in the case where I have the word swords or coins or whatever, it's possible my printer does not have that font. And when I send it over, Illustrator tends to prompt you, but if they're using something else, it might not prompt you to say, hey, you're not using the correct font. So it could alter to something else, and then you get a whole deck, or multiple decks in this case, of cards that are not printed correctly. So they have the wrong font and everything involved. So I would either expand the font, or meaning like create it, turn it, keep it from being live text and make it outlines so that it's part of the image vector wise, or have it be live text but export to one of these image formats so that it's a flat image when it goes out and you don't have to worry about it being live text or anything like that. All right, so this is just to show you, because this is what I used to initially develop the templates for when I did my test run. So these are the cards I did for the test run. So I had initially kicked off one of the art boards to have, sorry, I just want to move some of this over. It's taking up a lot of space. Oh, are you serious? Oh, there we go. Thank goodness. So we wanted all of the, all these artboards here were my test run of the cards that we wanted done. So what I'm going to do, so as you can see, if we zoom to one of these, you can see here when okay. So what's happening here is you've got the full card. There we go. Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you. So when I do, you've seen me do it before in the past where I'm creating all my assets for the cards and I'm trying to get things ready for my Behance page and doing all that kind of stuff. Then we have these assets. So you can see here, this is the shape of the card. So this is the one we export. It's the large one I export, getting ready. But then as you can see here, the artboard is bigger than that. So when you select it, it's smaller. But the blue line that you see on the screen, I hope, yes you do, that's there. That's the final size of the card. But you can see the black goes outside of it. That means that gives it room for that full bleed, and then I don't have a white edge. If you want a white edge or a white border, don't worry about a full bleed. Maybe let your printer know that that's the case, but in this case, we want a whole full black edge and we want to be ready to go. Dan says, oh my God, that's a lot of art. You're telling me, holy, it's very overwhelming. And these are the early day ones. Okay, so this file feels really ginormous. So what I am going to do is I am going to duplicate it. I'm just going to do a file save as final print raw. And what I'm gonna do, because this is printing just the first 10 rounds of these cards, plus the back of the cards. So when I go to print this and go to set it up with the printer that I'm currently working on, I have, they'll say like our each, Dan is on Facebook, Mafu. So when you have the card, you can lay out and say that you want each card to be different, like all 78 cards to be different. And then the back you can decide as well. I mean, in this case, when I did the test run, I'm like, every card has the same back. So all the cards are going to have this same back to them because that's how the deck will work, like most card decks will. But then if you had some sort of reason why you wanted the backs to be all different, then you would provide that art as well. This is going to be a lot. And I think when I export it, it's like a click and drag too. I feel like this is It's a scary process. So what we're gonna do, sorry, she's a little laggy. And I've been on a PC all day. Blech. Okay. So what I want to do here is zoom out. And then I want all of the cards. So I go to my artboard thing here. Leave that there. I'm going to start laying these out by their respective suits. So swords. These aren't in order yet. They will. Mafu says, "Hi, DTM Senpai, and please ask him how the heck he won 3-0 against me in a Jin mirror match." I want to hear about that too. Oh, did I seriously put one of each suit? That's outrageous. That doesn't sound coordinated enough to be like me. I love it. Okay. Oh, it's a leggy file. We'll see how far we can go with this. Because I have 7 times more art to do here. So when I move the artboard and click on the artboard itself, it pulls the board itself and all the art on it over, which is really nice. So I can start laying these out in a way, to me, that makes logical sense. Oh, we're getting leggy. Come on. And all the coins. Links, that's what I want. I did do large. Okay, I wonder if I can. DTM has 3 black belts in Tekken. You guys are so silly. Is that linked? Sorry, I'm changing my mind here. This is, I hope these are, oh, embedded. Okay, phew. I was gonna say. Place. Okay, so the coins, I'm just wondering if I can help myself out here. Because these are old enough that I have large and small, I think. I do. Okay. I have to re-export it, but that's okay. I just want to know how this works. Oh, yuck. That's no poo. Okay. No, that's not going to work for me. Okay, so what's happened here? Oh, so it's too small. So when we exported, like I exported, when I have the layout, I have a large, which is the full size art on a card. So the 8.5 by 5.5. And then I exported a small one, which was right at the card size. But in this case, very scrappy. So we're not going to go with that one. I was thinking of maybe doing a smaller size because it would make this file less laggy. But I would rather deal with a laggy file than sacrifice quality. I work too hard to have blurry cards. It's not a thing. Okay. I wonder if I'm off to have some fun with friends. Enjoy the stream all. Thanks for tuning in, RB. Have the most fun. Okay. Zooming out. Okay. Now, from here, can I want to duplicate this. Oh, that's inconvenient. So how many do I have? I have 1 ace to 10, 14 cards. Two, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 and grab all of those. Artboard move. Oops, okay, let's move this guy first because he's in the way. Okay, and now all of these, because I think if I play with layers, I might be able to save myself some chaos here. You left the T on discard. Don't go after me after you see it. I would never do that, Mafu. Okay, so I want new layers here because this is for my own sanity. Okay, so layers. Let's actually name layers. Let's do the non-Aaron thing and name our layers. So all of those are already on there. Okay. So then this, actually these, can we copy this? Oof. And then move those over here. It's making more artboards on the other side. I would show you how it's doing that, but I feel like we're gonna make a mess. It's gonna be laggy. It's not enough information for it to be very exciting. And I'm surprised it's not going off the page. Sometimes it goes off the page, making me nutsoid. Because I'll be like, there's not enough room for us to put all these cards in here. That's a lot of Prosperos. Okay, and all I'm doing is keeping these selected and duplicating them again. Major Arcana need more, but that's okay. We're gonna just get this layered and then we're gonna start laying out the cards and we're gonna start seeing them all together. Is my stream still going? Are you guys still there? Keep getting notifications that, oh, pickles, that it might not be. Okay, and then we're gonna move layers because this is getting a little bit redundant. Mafu's still here. Okay, good. Once this is done, I'm gonna make a layer situation. Something weird happened here, but that's okay. We can fix this. Oh, I know what happened. Son of a... Something extra duplicated here. Okay. It's okay. We don't need all of these anyway. I just needed the artboards. So what the artboard does for me is like I can zoom into each one instead of having this be all a pile of just art on a big board. These will help me do it. So if I want one of these specific artboards and I can select them and I do your Control 0, then you can get things a little bit clearer and you can zoom right in rather than me having to zoom in, zoom out. Twitch is being glitchy. Okay, hang on. Let's see. What have I done with my camera here? Okay. So let's see. Penny sent me a whole bunch of really cool notes. Show cursor. Let's see if that's a little more better. So I'm going to be in here anyway. Okay. Okay. So the artboards help me zoom in and out, and also when I'm exporting all these PNGs, rather than select each individual art and do File, Export Selection, I can export the artboards as they are. So what I'm going to do here is we are going to zoom out, please. Okay, a little bit more fiddling and then we should have things sorted. So that's swords, coins, that's not coins at all, that was cups, sorry. I just want to do these in some sort of order. Ones, and you might not be able to see that on the other side of my on the edge of my screen that's getting cut off. I'm actually naming my layers. Actually, what we'll do is we'll pull this over here so everybody can see. Okay, so what we're gonna do, this is the major arcana, and I need, there's 14, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. I need 8 more. So if I do 4, 6, 7, 8, duplicate, and then while those are selected, choose the artboard length. Then I can drag all those artboards down, and those little smart guides are lining them up for me because the major arcana have 21 cards. Okay, so now what I want to do is swords. We're going to select all of this and we're going to move them to the swords layer. And then we're going to select all this because I'm hopeful that hiding away one at a time will make this less laggy and actually work. Move this to the ones. And then move this to the coins. So all of your file management and everything that you do with this, it's up to you generally. Like if you wanted to maintain all of the vector art and everything and make sure there's no pixels at all, like I'm just going to see if I can find an example here. These are pretty high res. But see, eventually there's a little tiny bit of pixelation. We are at 1600%. So you have to get really close to that card to know that it's pixelated. But if you wanted vector, you could. All those vector lines in this is going to make things crazy. And I want to make sure that the art is being exported at the same rate, the same way. So everything kind of goes where it needs to go, in that like the circles and the letters are always in the same place. The swords is always in the same place. But you could put, let's just hit save, shall we? You could put vector art and everything in here. I just worry about me like doing this and it lagging and me shifting one of the cards. I'd like to really avoid that if I could. Okay, so let's coordinate these. So let's turn all these guys off and see if that helps me a little tiny bit. We're gonna hit save. Okay, so, and you can name all your artboards. I'm not certain I'm going to go to that effort right now. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 18. Just because there's not much value add there for me. It depends on how they export in the end. Like if I was to name them, I could do them like numbers or something and just kind of have them so that they export in the right order. I will worry about that after though. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18. All right. What's the view? Zoom. And 0. Fit all art. Okay. That's what I want. Okay. Because it's going to be really fun to see them all together. Okay. So... all right, so you guys get to have a sneak peek into one of our cards, actually, which is going to be super fun. And actually, a card I'm actually wicked proud of. Okay, if Illustrator will play the game, that would be, like, wicked awesome. There we go. So one, I'm just going to bring the background here. All I'm doing is holding Option to have that full bleed option coming through. And then I'm going to file place. Let's do it, says Mafu. All right. Major Arcana. This one, super freaking stoked. Large. And then we are going to properties. 2.75 inches. Bacon Bits is on Facebook. That's a lot of artboards. You are correct. We're prepping a tarot deck for printing, and they want each individual file. So we must prepare. So what I'm going to do here to ensure that these are aligned the way I want them to, we're going to center, and then we're going to be ready to go. There we have the Fool. Look at that card. Look how fun. I'm obsessed with this one, actually, because one of our characters from outside the circus meets a character from inside the circus, which is black and white, and they become friends, and it's good business. But I love how the black and white and the color works with this one. Super stoked about this one. We finally decided on the name. I still actually have options floating in, so I can't actually comment on that one right now. All right. So there. You guys got the scoop on this one to see what's going on. First one. And then all I'm doing here is putting the properties in manually 2.75 inches so that they're all the same width and everything's coming in right where we need it to go. Yeah, so the Fool, that card kind of launches in a couple weeks, I think. I don't have my calendar open. But this way, what happened to the Gates of Wonder? Oh, it's on there still. We still have a few. Yeah, there was Gates of Wonder, Midnight Arcana, and Midnight Wonders. Oh, and it's see, they're all blurring. Okay, we'll just pull up the names. We gotta see what we got. Tarot title. Sorry, see, we all got. So Midnight Arcana, Midnight Wonders, and the Midnight Gates. They're all midnight. So yeah, and so in this case, I'm gonna file place these because I don't want linked files. I don't plan on moving these things, but if you're working with people who you're going to be sharing files with, you want to be sure that if you're linking files, you don't move your files around. Because when you're linking to it, it's linking to that specific location. And if you move your files, it breaks the link. And when you pop it open, so if your printer pops something open that has linked art in it, then you are going to have an empty space. It's going to be no fun. Really hope it Gates wins. Oh my gosh. It's shockingly close. I had to keep posting the story last week because it's shockingly close. I'll think like, oh, this one's running away, and then I'll get like 4 votes for another one. It's craziness. So I'm just aligning to ensure that the cards are centered to the bleed. So I'll actually, what if I pull in the save first? So I'll show you what we were looking at here. So if I can I copy this? And then we go here and then we paste it. So here's an idea of what we're talking about for the template that we had before. So see the red line within it is all the important bits. So all my letters are inside there. My border with my Mafu's like hashtag vote for Midnight Gates. All the important stuff is well within that red dash line. There's nothing that goes really close to it. There's nothing that's on the edge. So that, assuming that everything goes to plan, everything is safe there, which is great. And then the cut line, my black line goes all the way out there. And then underneath this green area, that's where all that black is. So that's why you want to have a full bleed, because if there's a shift at all, everything's within there and everything's all sorted out. So my art is well within my safe area, but then I'd have this white edge here. You're playing a risky game not having that full bleed there. So if you have a pattern or a poster or a design that you want to have go full bleed, like when you cut the edge of the poster, that there's no white border, definitely factor this bleed in. And then take all your markings off so you don't have them printed. Work all this time. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Save my life a lot of aggravation here. Oh, yes. So if you Command D, my apologies. If you move an item and you Command D, it'll do that again until you stop. So if it's just shifting something, or if it's in this case copying something, it'll do that all in even space the whole time, so you don't have to manually do what I was doing the whole time. Card number 5. Properties 2.75. Yeah. There we go. And smart guides are really great because I think if I play this, we shouldn't have any issues here. So, okay, I'll show you what I mean by smart guides on the next one here. So if I file place number 6, thank goodness for past me laying these out. Older files have different file structure. Oh, no, we got to re-export her because she has the wrong background. And she's not 6, so I don't know what happened there. Hang on. File, place. 6. Large. Okay, let's try this again. Because I changed from the start the border. I had a pattern on there, but I felt it was taking over the card, so I went for solid black. Okay, so you're seeing things kind of light up and move around as I shift through Illustrator. That's the smart guides that are on. So see, right now those pink lights are like those pink lines are highlighting that, and it's showing me some measurements between there. So it's showing that this is directly centered between those two cards. It's showing me those kind of like even lines. Like if I want to snap to something, that would be an option. And now that pink horizontal line is telling me that it's centered to everything else. So to everything else on the artboard, it's kind of taking consistent measurements and orientations, etc., that are within the file and suggesting them to you, so you're not like, I don't have to manually like realign everything. Although this, well, maybe it's not. It fell off for a second, but I don't think it is. Okay, so we can't do 7 because she's needs to be redone. So we'll skip to 8 and see if she's done. No, she's got the gray border. He does not, though. 7, 8, 9. And this will tell me 7, 8, which ones are missing, which is also very helpful. Like I'm writing the book as well at the same time right now, and that's telling me, like, see, again, those same measurements are telling me like this is centered, and now it's centered with everything else. So we're all set to go. Ella Sanders in the chat. Welcome to the stream. We are prepping tarot print files. It's very exciting business. 10 are the rings. Yeah, I think only the first few had like a black and white. Had the pattern border. Luckily something I caught early. All I have to do really is go back in and re-export the file, to be honest. It's not going to be that much of a change. And we can do that a little bit after if we need to. 11. Yeah. It was pretty early days when we I decided not to do the black and white and just go solid black card border. Okay, file place number 12. So as I was saying, like this will show me the cards that need to still be handled, what's still missing, because I do still have, although I'm on the last card of, oh, something dumb has happened here. Hang on. Is she not? She has the wrong number. 17. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, so that one needs a change. Alessandra says, had work, then had to do some more food shopping, then wash the dishes and cooking. Outrageous. Okay, so this one, I don't want to forget that that's not correct because this is supposed to be a 12, not a 17. So I'm going to delete that one out. And then we're going to place the 13. So this is kind of how I'm also doing the writing. So when I have the writing for the deck, as I'm going through the cards, I'm leaving blank spaces where art hasn't been developed or content hasn't been developed yet, so that I know where to fill in blank spaces. If I put a bunch of stuff in there, like a bunch of filler, or if I left like that Hanged Man card, there's risk that I don't remember that one of the numbers has to be changed, and then I print the deck with a 17 that I really like, with 2 17 major arcanas, which I don't really want. Place 14. Large. He's ready. Look at this guy go. Look at them all coming together. Holy cow. 15. And I'll have to do a quick check and make sure all the words are right. They should be. I think there's one. Oh yeah, he was recent. He's black and white. There's one discrepancy between my 2 card references. So one of them is like, they're just numbered differently. Okay, but I need you to like snap here, bro. There we go. The 2 numbers switch, so I have to do some digging into that, but I have lots of notes that are like, check this before you print. It's really just the number, that it's not going to change which card goes where. This is highly likely. Yeah, she's gray. Yeah, she's early days. And everything that's going within the artboard is getting tied to that artboard. So right now, this clock is overlapping like 3 artboards. So if you move one, it'll go with it. But if you have everything nice and tucked in within your artboard, it's going to move. It'll move with it. Like we did earlier. I don't have to select everything. Sorry, something looked really blurry here. No, I think it was just how it placed. Oh, damn. Hit save. I'm going to grab number 19. Ooh, he might be a... Yeah, he's a gray. That's too bad. Oh man, the 3 of them are all right next to each other. That's outrageous. So these three characters are like friends in the end. 18 and 19, so the moon and the sun, they're twins, and then they become friends with Bailey. So this girl here and this boy here are the one that was in the Fool, the first card, like the new sneak peek card that you guys got to see. And then this, but all 3 of them being together, like I knew these 2 would be together because they're kind of opposites, the moon and the sun, but Bailey's right next to them. That's amazing. A lot of happy accents this one. A lot of things kind of just really worked out, which is excellent. This isn't done. Oh, no, I'm thinking of a different card. That's why. This was almost a duplicate card. I kind of have this almost in 2 places, but it's different parts of the story. And I want both cards in, so that's just going to be how it is. All right. All our major arcana. Yee! Look at them all together. Look how cute they are. Antoine says we don't have any World Cup anymore. So sad. Yeah, it's like when the Olympics are done. What do people do when the Olympics are done? All right. So let's turn those off for now. Well, that's aggressive. Okay, we're gonna hit save, I think is what we're gonna do. Okay, so what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Page, night. Okay, so this one goes here. And this is a night. I need this guy. Come here. I'm too far away. So I was mentioning smart guides before. I was a solid non-user of smart guides when I first used Illustrator because I found them distracting. They're like flashing all over the place while I'm trying to work. And they're distracting. But once I knew what they were doing for me and how I could use them. Oh, nuts, that didn't work. Then it wasn't so bad. Okay, are we done? Because I saw what the flashing meant, so it didn't feel like it was taking over as much. Some of these aren't as spaced out nicely as I would like, so I can't do the duplicate just yet. I think we can probably do it now. There we go. There we go. That makes more sense. And then there's 2 of these, so let's save our brains from some information here and get ourselves to the swords. All right, so we want to start with the Ace of Swords. Now this is something that I'm really glad I set up for myself. What's my Ace of Swords? I'll get back to that comment in a second. Okay, that's a card I'm not done yet. Obviously, it's not my thing. All right, we'll go to 2 then. So something I'm glad I set up for myself early days was doing this export kind of as I went. This could have very... Okay, are we done now? Can we just calm down? Just having a hissy fit. No, bro. Aw, 2.75, enter. Okay. So I easily could have set this up for myself to be like all of like this whole live stream is me exporting all these cards individually one at a time. Instead, I'm really glad that I opted to do it as I went. The risk was kind of like me changing the border in the middle. Like if I changed any of the aesthetic of the cards, like the numbers and the letters here, like I changed the lettering or I changed any of the layouts, things like that, that's a risk that I would have to re-export. So like the few that I have to export again because of the, I put that pattern on the border. Luckily not too bad, but now in this late in the game when I really would like to get to the pre-order and like getting it launched on schedule, I am glad that this kind of thing, that this part of the process is really just placing this on art boards and getting it ready for print as opposed to having to start everything from scratch and do each individual one of these at this time instead of at a different time at the very end. Because that would make this very overwhelming. Oh, for Pete's sake. People are talking FIFA. Let's try this again. Okay, so again, this is showing you like this. The art is coming in size as. So this is how I exported it. This is how big it was created, and I'm resizing it down. Now, there's advantages and disadvantages to doing this. The advantage here is that all my details I could draw at a bigger size, and when I bring them down, they still hold up. Any little nuances or borders that don't quite line up, or anything that's like little tiny glitchy things or wobbly lines or whatever, are you can't see them from there. And I was able to get those fine details in because I had the room to zoom in fresco and put them there. If I worked size as and put them in just like at the 2.75, they would look a lot different, which is fine. But there wouldn't be I wouldn't have a lot of scaling options. I wouldn't have a lot of opportunities to what happened there? Large. There we go. Because see, all these details and all that kind of stuff are in here, and then they just scale them down. If you do it size as, that's fine. Like I said, that tiny detail is harder to get, at least in the process that I did. And and there wouldn't be a lot of room to like make it bigger. Like here, there's lots of detail. So if like suddenly the printer that I did, they start printing the cards at 3 inches wide instead of 2.75, then I have that wiggle room right now to make that adjustment. But if I worked solidly to just 2.75, no, don't Don't quit. Oh my God. I almost shortcut myself straight out of here. So yeah, so you want, like, you have that wiggle room if your printer changes, or if like somehow like this printer wasn't going to work for me, and I was trying to find local artists, local printers, sorry. And if they had a different kind of file size or whatever, having a bigger file gives you that wiggle room. How much bigger? That's up to you. I could have made each one of these like an 18 by 24. Ah, nuts. I forgot to check that one. Okay, so 7 still needs to be redone because it has the pattern border. Bailey's box will not. We just posted this one. This one's last week's card. So it gives you that flexibility. I think I didn't do mine dramatically huge. Like I said, I could have made each one of these 18 by 24 and just made them just absurdly massive. But I felt like what I did allowed me to do like basic prints and the deck, and the vector liner gives me some flexibility for like coloring pages, etc. It depends on how you want to reuse it. And if I export the art at a high resolution, I could make them 18 by 24 if I wanted to. But that feels a little intense for a tarot card. And you can have Illustrator really work with you on this. So I'll show you another thing that we're doing. So when I place the 10, large, where is she? And again, my naming convention really helps me here too, because I'm just looking for the word large. So even if my file format's small, I shortened somehow because it's too long to display, like this one's got the dots on it, then I'm just looking for the word large, and I'll know it's the export that I want. So consistency plays in really nicely there. So one thing, I'm not sure you can see it on my screen, but in my properties, I have my maintain width and height proportions selected. So all I have to do is put in the 2.75 inches across, and it will uniformly scale it. If I didn't have that selected, it would make it small, and then I would scale again to make it the height small. Risky business. I don't want to mess with the art. I want it to stay in proportion to the way it is, the way it was designed, just so I don't accidentally pick the wrong dimensions, making a mess. The queen, okay, the queen, she's got the wrong border too, and the king is not done yet. Okay, so we'll just cancel out of this for now. And that is our sword deck. Hard to see for now. Come on, just a little bit in. Most of our sword deck. Slay. Okay, and then we're going to save. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our lovely doll, 3, 4, 5 goes here. And then the page here. Okay. So the way that all of this works, like it being flat images and me working with layers and having some of them hidden out of the way is really a big deal here in helping the file lag. Like you can see it's lagging a little bit, and I think on Twitch it's lagging like quite a bit. But it's it's going smoother than when we first opened this file. So working with your layers to hide out information, because these are images and not full on live files, that's helping me as well. All kinds of fun things. Okay, so we are on the page of cups. Oh man. So Alessandra, I saw that you sold out all of your bookmarks. That's freaking awesome. Good for you. The ones you were working on yesterday were a lot of fun. Yay for catching live streams on the weekends. Do you have any other shows coming up soon? Okay, file place. I don't think that's what this card is anymore. Cups. Oh yeah, no. The number 2 is not ready. Large. Yeah. So yeah, so again, past me really pulled out all the stops here, getting everything laid out from the beginning in a bit of a structure. So this is a lot easier than it could have been. This could have been a very tedious process, like I said, starting each export from scratch. So luckily, not always the case, but luckily how this played out, making this a lot, like starting this file alone is going to help me sleep at night. Because we're getting close. And I don't want to miss anything. I know I'm going to get everything done on time. But it's stressy waiting for it. Oh, we get to see this one in color. You guys haven't seen this one in color yet. Thanks. I have 3 left to sketch and I got 6 in total to color. Oh gosh. When's your next show? I know you can do it. All right, this one we drew in line art not long ago, and we all get to see the beautiful color of this one. All right, let's get it oriented. I'm obsessed with how these roses came out. They are just freaking like alive. Next month. That's not where I wanted to go. Next month. Okay, so you have time. Excellent. So there she is. Our lovely crib space. So there is a bit of an evolution when you look at these 2 cards between how each one's handled. So they kind of look a little different just because the doll on the left is very early days and then you have the crib on the right. But I also still feel like they kind of look like they're part of the same deck. Like they still look like they go together, which blows my mind. I have to prepare for work now. Wish me luck. Good luck to you. Thank you for streaming today too, Aaron Senpai. Thank you so much, Mafu, for being here. I'm so glad to see you. I hope you have an excellent day at work. We're almost done here. You won't miss too much. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with all these cards. Who drew these? God. Seeing them all in one place. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. It's overwhelming. This probably does not have the right... No, it has the pattern. I thought for sure. This is late enough that it doesn't. Oops. 9 is I don't want to rush this part of the process either, because what I really want to do is lay them out and make sure, like, go through each one carefully and be like, I have ace through king for each card. Like, there isn't one that's mislettered like I did before. How come I have 2 10s? See, this is why we do this check. 10. That card's not done. Masquerade's already on here. Somehow I have 2 dex cards. So I don't, oh no, she's not even. She's got the wrong background. So let's find the Queen and the King. So that this way I'm finding these things. Like the pre-order isn't for another month. Just to keep things confined. So this gives me a while to make sure, yeah, I figured that was the case, that I can do these sanity checks and make sure that everything is lined up, accounted for, have other people take a look at it, make sure that everything I need is in place. So I'm not rushing, because I could easily just do this file and send it to print, but then I'd find that I had 2 major arcana 17s. Or something. Okay. Ooh, don't do that. Okay, we're gonna hit save. Okay, I want to do at least one more. Okay. Can I do... You just want this one. Sweet. Because I want to do this. How come they're not lined up? Who did that? Illustrator. There we go. Perfect. And same with this. Now, again, just holding Option duplicates everything. Okay, so this has to go to the wands layer, so they're going to disappear because that layer is hidden. So I just don't want to fiddle with those anymore. And that's going to go to the coins layer. All right, cups. Wands. The black things came to the front, so we're going to put them to the back. There we go. Okay. What do we got? 3. These 2, 3. Perfection. And then page. And the smart guides are only going to work for however close you are to the screen. So if you're zoomed out a lot like I am right now, they're not going to snap in a way that would be as helpful. So I'm sorry, we're on wands. Okay, place the wands. Oh, this is this week's card. Bam, baby, the labyrinth. I was watching Outlander while I did this one, so you can see some of the ancient inspirations in the doors, etc. It's fun to go back because I know what I was watching for each one of these cards, or listening to, or where I was sitting, all that kind of stuff. It's an adventure, guys. This whole thing is an adventure. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot to put in. Nuts. But I recommend anybody who has the capacity to do a big project like this, I can't recommend it enough. It's so fun, and you learn a lot about your work and yourself doing it. Now, I did change some of the folder structures, so that's why I'm kind of skipping a few things. Oh man, so many of the tents we did early days, they need new borders. Nuts. Oh no. This is gonna be less satisfying. How far? I know I thought for sure the tents were going to be done first because I was almost exclusively doing tents. This one can play. Now, which number was that? Come on. 9. Perfect. Guess. Okay. 2.75. File place. Ooh, this one's borderline. Oh, yes. Yeah, I was surprised when I was coming out at the end here how evenly they all kind of finished, because I thought for sure, like I hadn't done a lot of mood cards for a while in the cards, and then I thought for sure like the tents and the circus ones were going to be finished first, because those were just the ones I was working on, but that's not the case. They all came out pretty even. There's a couple that I had planned at specific times to be launched and or created, but generally they all came out pretty even, and I'm pretty stoked about that. Okay, she's underway. A lot of the queens aren't finished. My goodness gracious. Queens are waiting their turn. File place again, because I clicked and dragged instead of clicking. So when you do a file place of your file, we're getting this little like cursor here. If I just click, which I've been doing, it just goes in however big that image is. But if you go in, something here feels wrong. If you have like a click and drag or some snapping bits, like if you want to snap to something, you can do that too. You don't have to do what I'm doing here. I just don't want to guess at the 2.75. It just doesn't, this is just a way I can think of it. Wow. So few tents, that's unfortunate. Because a lot of them were done early days with the wrong border. So I'll have to re-export those, but I won't have you sit through that. We'll do the last of the suits here. And we'll get these guys going. Okay, so 10 and 8, huh? So we'll do 10 first. It's actually our very first card. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 8. Okay, let's see how many of these we can do, because this is the circus as well, and a lot of early cards for the circus, so I might not have as many of these either to work. Our juggler, oh, I'm putting money that she's not black and white. Oh, maybe she is. The juggler was later, I'm sorry. I was thinking of a different card. So even though it's tedious, and even though sometimes it feels a little bit insane, file structure is going to save your sanity for all these things. If I didn't have these structured this way, I'd be hunting down bonfires and which bonfire is it, and which performer is this and that, and not all the file names match the card names because they're just how I remember the art in my head. Come on, you. Come on. Let's get here. So, folder structure, layer naming, while tedious, will save you in the end. Okay, that's not as blurry as I thought. We are going to save, though. Place number 5. Oh, she's probably... She's got the border. Nuts. Okay. So, I just undid there. I accidentally clicked and dragged, and so she was super tiny. Let's try again, shall we? Large. There we go. What in the Pete? Just, what are we doing? I didn't ask for that. I just want to change this to 2.75. Game show Wheel of Fortune. Exactly. Yeah. Sorry, I understand now. Antoine says it's like the game Wheel of Fortune, so it's like filling in the little squares. That's hilarious. Now I feel like we should all get some prizes or something. The Hanged Man is a different one than the other Hanged Man. This one is a recent card, so I know she's got the black border. This is going a little smoother. Loving it. Loving it. Oh, okay, perfect. So yeah, so like I said, the file names and structure and layering names, it's important to do, but also to the point of like where it makes the most sense for you. Like I said, I could name every single one of these artboards. I don't know that there's much value in me doing that and saying this is the 9 of Swords and this is the 10 of Swords, because this file is intended as the export for the printer and they don't care. Like they're just like when I click, I'm pretty sure when I upload it, I click and drag each individual one into the deck, and I think I pick the order that way. So as long as there's a way for me to export this in a way that makes sense to the final, which I'll explain in a second. Like I'll explain how the export will work. Oh, there she is. Oh, she's good. That then, and I'm not doing too much tedious work there, then we're fine. So to whatever makes sense. Like I very rarely will name my layers. But I'm usually the only one doing these, like working on my files. So naming them isn't such a big deal. Something is askew here. Hang on. Because this should be the page. Now let me just check and make sure. Oh, it is. Oh, sorry. It is the right. The bonfire lighters were not prepared to join us just yet because they have the wrong border. That's why that happened. So just like I said, everybody kind of says these things are important and it's good to do, but really just like to what makes the file make sense. Like if you're working like something like this is a huge project. It's a beast, and I knew it was going to be multiple years, and I knew it was going to be a huge process. That's not possible. Do I not have this card? Did I not print this card? No freaking way. I didn't pick the contortionist for the test round? That makes no sense. So to really whatever makes sense, because it does take up time. So like this is a beast. I knew the files had to work in different areas and finding them and everything. So it definitely pays off to have them named this way. But if you're doing a one-off fresco file, don't worry about it. It's fine. So to what makes the most sense? All right. They look so good in the black and white, all of them together. You guys are freaking slay. All right, let's turn them all on. Let's show me all the art, please. Oh, because these are in the way. Let's move this then. So it's out of the way, and then we'll put this away. Okay. So now we're going to turn everything on. Where's my layers? Oh my God. Guys. A few more blanks than I would prefer, but I know like a majority of those are just re-export the black border situation. Oh my God. Look at them all. Obsessed. Okay. So I was going to talk about the printer. So when I export these, it's going to, like if I do export the PNG, you can leverage the artboards. That's why there's so many here. So you can, when you do a file export of this file, if I pick PNGs, down here you can say use artboards. And so there's 79 artboards because we have the 78 cards plus the back of the card. So what that's going to do, if I do like if I'd say don't use artboard, it's just going to export this as one big fat image. and then it would go on a page and we'd print it, and that's how it would work out. We need these to be individual files. Oh. Hey, buddy. No. They're allowed to be in the hall. We're almost done, bro. Knock it off. You come sit with everybody. You've been so good so far. We're almost done. Knock it off. But here we want each individual image so that we can upload each individual one to the printer. So it export it as an artboard. It'll factor in that artboard, and whatever's within it, it'll export individually. So when I do this, it'll be final print raw artboard 1, 2, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's why I should probably renumber them or do something that makes a little more sense. Or reorder them. It doesn't matter. I can figure that out for myself. But that'll export those all individually rather than me having to go in file, export, save, file, export, save, file, export, save. So this will take all this file and export them into 79 individual images for me. And they'll all be at the right scale, and they'll all be factoring in all the trims and the borders and all those kinds of things. All this kind of stuff from the printer, so that when I export it, they'll be ready to go, and I can just upload them up to the printer and click send and move on. So like that's why I have done this way, just because that's how the setup for the 10 was. Oh no, that's right. Sorry, something looked wrong. So what I will probably do is export this out as like a big image, just to do a little bit of or have a few of these on a page to do a test print for that sanity check, make sure everything's spelt right, make sure everything has its right number, make sure I have one of each card, all that kind of fun madness, and get things squared away that way. But this way I get to see what gaps are still in there. So still some work to do. There's about 5 or 6 cards that still need to be put together. But all but one has its art done, which is outrageous to me. So I'm going to hit save on this guy, and then I'm going to let you guys get on with your day. So we're getting to a very exciting time with this. I probably won't walk you through this again next time. That seems a little tedious. I don't know what we'll be doing next time. Antoine says, what a bark. Sorry. Time for snacks. Yeah, it's time for a timeout. People were walking in the hall. We can't have that. So next week, I'm not sure what we'll be back here with. I'm not certain I'll be ready to do InDesign files just yet. I'm at the point of just still text for the books. So we'll see what we can cook up for next week, if there's something else we want to do. But we're making some wicked progress. So still lots of tarot to do, still to do work to do here. But for now, I'm going to let you all get on with your day. So thanks everybody for tuning in, for Dan and Bacon Bits, Antoine, Alessandra, Mafu for being here. Anybody else who's lurking. Good luck with your bookmarks, Alessandra. Antoine, good luck with your tests. I hope things go very well. And I'm glad your trip was amazing. And I'll be back same time and channel next week. Thanks everybody. Have a great night. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Have to stop barking at the neighbors, you freaking maniac. And we're probably still... Yep, they all heard that. That's okay. Bye, everybody.